sponsored by Husk Knives. That is very nice.
Mushrooms. Oh,
that is so good.
mmm.
Hi folks, Tom Fandabi Dozi, thanks for tuning in. So for this video I'm joined once again by my buddy Finn from the Scottish Mountain Man channel, and today we're going to do some campfire cooking. Finn is a trained chef, butcher and fishing guide, so seemed like the perfect person to help me out in this video. We decided to try a recipe each. I would stick to a historically themed one, using only some basic ingredients that would have been available to our 17th century Highland ancestors, as well as things we could catch and forage in the immediate area. Then Finn would use a few modern ingredients from the supermarket to experiment with a couple of tasty dishes he'd been dreaming up. We had spent the morning out fishing, having fun experimenting with historical and modern fishing kit. If you want to see how that went and how we caught our fish, then head over to Finn's channel where you can find that video. He also has lots of other videos about fishing all over Scotland. I would cook my recipe first, and with a fresh catch of mackerel already secured from the morning efforts, and with a backpack containing my historical food rations of barley flour, oatmeal, butter and salt, the next thing was to see what nature provided in the forest and fields nearby. After only about 20 minutes of foraging, we found a good amount of chanterelle mushrooms, wood sorrel, sheep sorrel and stinging nettles.
Man, make fire.
As we let the fire burn down to a nice bed of embers, I got started on my bannock bread mix. Now, bannock bread is basically an unleavened bread and was a staple food in the Highlands for centuries. You'll find many recipes out there, but I'm using my own very simple one I figured out when prepping my bannocks for my 4-day Highlander expedition. It basically consists of 2-part barley flour, 1 part oatmeal and 1 part fat, in this case butter.
Oh yeah.
A pinch of salt and enough water to turn it into a kneadable dough. To add some flavour and extra nutrition, I decided to add some stinging nettles to the mix, which are one of the most nutritious wild edibles you'll find in Scotland. I first singed the leaves in the flames of the fire to burn off the stinging hairs, before chopping them finely and adding them to the bread dough. I then kneaded the mix into 2 small patties and rolled them in oatmeal to stop them from sticking.
Ready?
I prepped my forage chanterelle mushrooms by simply cutting them half lengthways, as they will shrink a lot in the pan, so no need to cut them any smaller. Now the knife I'm using is a Husk cooking knife. It's wicked sharp, simple design and really robust, and it was a pleasure to use for cooking like this. Husk kindly sponsored this video and are currently running a 50% discount code for this knife, as well as a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now that deal won't last for long, so make sure you check it out by clicking my special link in the video description and pinned comment below. Next was to prep our freshly caught mackerel by first removing the heads and slashing the sides to allow a more even cooking. I then stuffed the cavities of the fish with butter and chopped wood and sheep sorrel. Both of these plants contain oxalic acid, which gives a beautiful citrus flavour. The sheep sorrel, more like lemon, and the wood sorrel with a slight sour apple taste. My hope was that these citrusy flavours would complement the fish nicely. Now the cast iron cookware we're using is not strictly of a 17th century design, but cast iron circular griddles or girdles were a common household kitchen item in the Highlands for centuries, where people would cook their bannock breads on. Ours just happens to be rectangular. We cooked our bannocks and fish for about 15 minutes and fried our mushrooms in butter with a pinch of salt for about 5 minutes. Now, the moment of truth. I think I'll go for the fish first. Fresh barbecued mackerel is it? Yeah, have a bit of bannock. Good. Soft and crumbly, like a scone.
Did you get a nice toasted flavour from the top and bottom? Yeah.
Well, quite salty. Good though. Gotta try the sorrel. It actually does taste
Inside.
appley.
Yeah. It's a real citrus flavour. Oh, the mushrooms. Oh.
Finn ruined most of my audio cooking that, because every time I did something he was oh!
Oh yeah. Oh. Whoa.
Oh, look at that. Flipping the fish.
I apologise if the audio for this video sounds a bit rude.
What are we doing behind that camera? Now it was Finn's turn to cook, and he decided to try a couple of recipes using the rest of the mackerel we had.
Wow. Sharp.
He first neatly filleted them, being careful to remove most of the bones.
Do you know what? Here's a little bit of honesty. I was worried this blade would be ever so slightly too thick for this. It's actually doing a fantastic job. So.
The tip of it's pretty thin actually. The larger fillets he would fry in the cast iron, and the smaller ones he planned to later deep fry in beer-battered.
I like a little bit of extra salt on the skin side because it helps draw moisture out and give you that crispy skin. So here we have a summer salad with sun-blushed tomatoes, garlic croutons.
Did you forage the croutons?
I did.
You caught them.
I hunted these croutons myself. And then fresh caught mackerel. We caught this morning, cooked within a few hours of coming out of the sea that we're stood next to. Dressed with a little bit of dressing and finished with some coriander.
That is very nice. The mackerel's so tender, so fresh, literally just a few hours old. The salad would taste better if you'd foraged it yourself then, but
yeah,
I'll let you off. But I was impressed by the croutons, you hunted them well.
Thanks, man.
Oh.
They give quite a chase in the aisle of the co-op.
No, generally really nice. Now to prep the beer batter. Finn first filled a bowl with a few cups of barley flour, then added generous seasonings of salt, black pepper, chili flakes and garlic granules before mixing in the beer to make a thick batter. We heated a small cauldron of veggie oil on the fire until Finn reckoned it was hot enough to deep fry the fillets. Are we playing to the Scottish stereotypes that we deep fry everything?
Exactly, you know, for all the Americans watching, you know, at least it's not a Mars bar. When I'm deep frying something, whether I'm at home or outside, When I take out the batter, I like to wave it in the oil to seal the batter a little bit, because when you drop it in, it's going to sink to the bottom, and if you haven't sealed the batter, it's going to stick to the bottom of whatever you're cooking your oil in. And what we learnt from the last time is we're going to give these 30 seconds just to cool, because then they'll crisp on the outside. We were using barley flour, something I've never used in a batter, but it's worked okay. So experiment's been a success.
Cheers, man. I think you bit me again.
Oh,
Bit me in the fishing and the cooking.
it's the garlic.
Yeah, it is the garlic. Yeah.
It is the garlic.
So good. So my cousin Ian smelled deep fried fish from far away, so
That's just too tempting.
that one. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That has got a good amount of crisp to it.
Yeah?
Fish is pretty spot on.
Chip shop worthy? Oh. So,
When someone eats your food and doesn't open their eyes, that's always a good sign.
yeah.
That was worth a journey.
Don't forget to check out the link to the husk knife. You get 50% off this really nice cooking knife, and you get 30 days to test it out to see whether you like it or not. Pretty good deal, I'd say. Big thanks to Finn for helping me out in this video. Don't forget to check out his channel and see how we caught these fish, as well as many more of his adventures. Massive thanks to all my patrons and supporters. You guys are awesome. If you'd like to help keep the channel going, you can support me on Patreon, and there I do monthly behind the scenes and Q&A videos. Thanks so much for watching, folks. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Cheers.